meat, and then so we are talking about soybean noodles. Well, we happen to have scored soybean powder samples, and then one of our noodle making experts made pretty good noodles with the samples. So I thought uh, it would be great for us to share this particular type of noodles with you guys. So we are talking about soybean noodles, and then soybeans is something kind of very unique and traditional that like Japanese have been like eating, like using for different food items, like including tofu, right? And then soy sauce and miso. So I think it'd be like great combination for the noodle ingredients, and then the noodles that maybe coupled with that soy sauce or like a miso soup. So yeah, I prepared like some slides, right? Like I like to go through right before we're gonna show you guys how the soybean noodles are made, right? And then um, we are going to show you guys how the soybean noodles cooked, and then plate it for this simple dish that one of our noodle making experts prepared. So um, and then this particular workshop, like what to feature our the probably one of the most popular commercial noodle machines that we've developed so far, like the Richmen Gold I machine. This is like all-in-one noodle machine model that that's been very popular for the past like a couple of years. We've been shipping it out like elsewhere in the world. To well, we've shipped over to 66 countries. So the Richmond Gold I is like a great piece of machine that allows you to produce like a variety of fresh noodles, including the soybean noodles that we're gonna make today. So I'm gonna go over some slides, right, to explain how we're gonna make some, the soybean noodles, right, and then after that, I'm just gonna want to talk about a little bit about which we call one machine, and then yeah, we're gonna make soybean noodles. Okay, so um, let me go over some slides, right, first, and then so soybean noodles made of Richmond Gold one. So soybeans as noodle ingredients, right? So when we are talking about soybeans, right, as a whole seeds, right, whole seeds before grinding them or anything, processing them anyway, um, the content of the soybean would be like water, in 63%. That's a lot of that's a big percentage water content, and they has like protein. Protein is pretty high in soybean. Like soybeans are among the best sources of plant-based protein. Then in this original form, protein is 18.2 grams, right? And then soybeans are like, well, said to be, low carb food, right? So a lot of companies are actually have been developing, like a bread and stuff like that, using soybeans, low carb food, and sugar, and then fiber, right? And it has really, high fiber. Sorry, it has really high in fiber. So, soybean is a very rich source of plant-based protein and also fat. Right? Fat is like also good fat, and also like, it's high in fiber content, right? So it's very good for your gut health. So basically, it's a very healthy ingredient. Then, but the ingredients we got, from famous, famous miso manufacturer is like actually the powder form, right? So when it's powder form, the protein like shoots up like in a percentage. That's 38%, like whopping 38%, and the carbs like 30 grams, and sugar 18 grams, fiber 12 grams, and the fat 21 grams. So this is the powder we got, and then so that's what we're gonna use to make our soybean noodles. Um, and then we did this in the workshop like in the morning, right? So this is the exact recipe that we did, and then wheat flour, right, 50%, soybean flour 50%. So when you're making we'll be trying out like new ingredients, making a new the recipe. We usually go by 50%, 50%. If you have a flour A, flour B, right? And then we don't know how the noodle texture is going to turn out. So flour A, for example, has a higher protein, right, than flour B, and then we go 50-50, and then we try the noodles, right? And then this is kind of a little too hard than we expected, um, harder than expected, right? So like we decrease the amount of flour A, probably by 10%, and then increase the amount of flour B by 10%, so 40-60%, right? So we kind of go like but like do this is how we do like a trial and error to reach the final recipe. And then for my water, we usually go like on a 35% or so, like kind of in the middle, medium hydration ratio. And then because the soybean flour is like lost all the water, right? Water content, it's very dry. So when combining with the wheat flour, which has usually 14-15% water content, just combining this type of like dry powder would be like very dry. I mean, way drier than like if you're combining just regular wheat flour, right? Different types of wheat flour. So we want to watch out for hydration ratio. If it's like 35%, or 37%, but it's actually gonna be like more like a 28% or 30% because of the this dry powder, soybean flour, which has like almost like no water content, right? So it's very important to have these like five variables in your mind, like when you're trying to structure your noodle recipes, and then so one of them is like wheat flour, like protein content wheat flour, between 7% to 13% when we are making some sort of like noodles, right? 13% be like pretty high, pretty hard flour, but we just saw the dry soybean powder, having like 38% protein content. So that's really way harder. So when I think about the final noodle texture to be like how hard it's gonna be, right? Then viscosity, starch, this wheat flour is viscosity, but like that's measurement of like how elastic this noodle texture will be, right? So it's important to have flour with the high viscosity value. Otherwise, like it'll be chewier, like it'll be like elastic. Um, so if you use like flour with the high protein, but like low viscosity value, then you are making these noodles that are like hard, but like just fragile, not a good texture. And then hydration. Hydration is very important. Like so, the more water you add, right, the softer the noodle texture. And noodle size, of course, larger, harder, more bite to it, right? Then last thing, last variable is also important. Whether or not you're serving your noodles cold or hot. Well, cold noodles, we chill them, right? We chill them, we chill the noodles, and then the noodle texture tightens, so like making them harder. So you wanna take this into account, right? When you're serving the noodle, right? When thinking about the final noodle texture. So these five variables like you wanna remember, when constructing your noodle recipes. And last thing I want to touch on is like calculating the production cost of your noodles, right? And then so ingredient costs, flour, water, salt, healthy, sometimes egg powder, fresh eggs or something, or then labor cost, right? Richmen Gold I is capable of making 100 to 150 servings per hour, like at maximum, right? But it's just that like it depends on the type of noodle you're making, size of noodle you're making, and then your serving size as well, right? So labor cost is something that you want to incorporate into your production cost. And also utility cost, right? Electricity, but it's very trivial. Like electricity consumption is like pretty small, compared to other costs. So it's almost nothing. But you still want to know, right? What kind of cost like you're looking at in terms of like utility costs, right? And there's a total cost of like making regular fresh ramen noodles, right? One serving would be like somewhere around like 25 cents per serving, right? And then total cost of something like what we're making today, soybean noodles, ingredient costs like shot up to like 25 cents, because I calculated it like this sample soybean noodles, right? It was a little bit expensive, more expensive than I thought. So the total cost of making, one serving of this set of noodles like would be around like 38 cents per serving. So, but anyway, like so this is how you calculate your production cost. And then if you want to know more about this, formula calculation, please let us know in the comments, or like send us some email asking me. So I want to, talk a little bit about Richmen Gold I. Allow me to do it, like, because Richmen Gold I has been like very popular piece of equipment that we've been selling, over the past like 3 years, right? We ship it everywhere in the world now. And why it's popular is that like there are three vital strength, right? It has to offer the ease of use, right? Versatility, and it has got a built-in noodle making technologies that noodle making artisans use. So let's go over like one by one in detail. So ease of use. So it has this automatic feeding system. So once you place the dough on the conveyor, right, and then the Richmen Gold I does it, that rest of the process, for you, right? So um, it has this sensing capability, right? That measures like how much dough is like being fed into the roller. So it knows like how fast it has to move the conveyor, right, to feed the dough, or like how slow. So it regulates conveyor belt speed to feed the dough appropriate amount of dough. It has to feed into the roller at the time. So it's a very smart system that it has. And then so you don't have to know, okay, well, on conventional machine, like you have to do it manually by hand. So you have to know, like, okay, is that appropriate amount of dough or not? Then, if you don't know, like if you feed it too much at the time, like it, cause a problem. So, but you have to know this like by experience, but you don't have to know, you don't have to do it like in Richmen Gold I. So another point in easy of use is like noodle conveyor that's set like conveyor that carries the noodles are coming out on is set up like 65 centimeters high from the ground. Like that's kind of high. That's as high as like you can put regular folding chair in front of it, and then you can sit on it, and then you catch noodles, right, comfortably. So it's very conventional machine. You may have to bend over and then like catching it like a really low point, almost to the close to the ground. So you have to spend probably 10 minutes like doing it. So you hold your back. But the Richmen Gold I, like it's easier on the workers. Another thing is that like it has all touch panel that allows you to control many aspects of operation. You can set the roll gap, you can set the speed and everything. Like you can pretty much like see everything that's going on in the machine during the operation. So it's a very useful system that like you can even like diagnose what's wrong with the machine. So it's a very smart system that it has, this Richmen Gold I. Another thing is that like versatility, like flexibility. It's very yeah, it's got like a really flexible yeah, the capability to make different types of noodles, different sizes and shapes. Um, One thing I want to point out is that, like, well, hydration level in noodles is very important in terms of like how well well this type of machine is capable of making certain types of noodles. Because how the hydration level like makes the condition of dough, size of dough, uh, you know change like dramatically, right? So depending on that, like it's very difficult for certain types of noodle machines to make certain types of noodles, right? The conventional pasta machine, you know, well, they are just capable of making like certain types of noodles, like there are between 32% and 36% in hydration level. But Richmen Gold I is capable of making noodles that are like between like 25 and 45 percent in hydration. So it's very wider range of hydration that you can cover. So we're talking about like low hydration noodles such as Hakata tonkatsu noodles, right? That's the most popular type of ramen noodles in the world. Then fresh pasta, of course. The Tokyo shoyu ramen and miso ramen, and of course the soybean noodles that we're making today, and the udon, tsukeme, and certain types of Chinese noodles, right? That we covering this month, diversity month, right? So yeah, these are the like pictures, like images of dough, that are different in terms of hydration ratio level, right? The left, right, that's um, low hydration ratio, like 28% or something like that, and then medium and the high hydration ratio to the right. So um, it's very different. Like how easy it is to turn them into like noodles would be like very different, like from the type of noodle machine that you're using. So then yeah, then it's colorful like a dough, right? A piece of dough. It is very easy to make Richmond Gold machine. Richmond Gold machine is equipped with this 10 kilogram mixer that we call a silky mixer, which is basically designed to condition the dough like ideally, right? So it optimizes the conditioned dough for noodle, ideal types of noodles, right? So you can just mix and then make this dough, right, by adding these different types of like ingredients. In our case, like that what we're doing today, that's soybean powder. But it's very easy to do it, like just But the one thing that you don't want to do is just screw up the like weighing of the ingredients. But other than that, that's pretty easy to do. So with the Richmond Gold I machine. And so lastly, right? So we've done a lot of research and development, a lot of research like experimentations to develop this Richmond Gold I machine. But how we did the research is that like we um, look at like how noodle making artisans make their noodles, right? So they have their own techniques, right? So we just built their technologies into Richmond Gold I machine. So you can condition the dough, ideally, right? And then so basically you're working the dough, and then with ease, right? So it allows anybody to work on the dough and then make the dough, make the kind of noodles that pretty much these noodle making artisans are capable of making, right? So these people like have over 10 years of like experience like in noodle making, but like you can put someone who just hired yesterday to actually make that level of noodles in this Richmond Gold I. So we put all these technologies into this piece of machine to allow anybody without any experience and skill to make you know awesome noodles. So, uh, yeah, we're gonna talk about these in the like when we actually make noodles later. But it has built-in uh, technologies into these techniques, right? That now the way designers use into this system of this machine. And then the last thing I want to talk about, right? Allow me, to talk about these stuff before we start making soybean noodles. But you know, we kind of encourage you guys to like, watching this online, remotely is like really great, right? You can watch a lot of stuff. You can learn, you can study, right? About noodle making techniques and everything, right? But nothing beats than well actually going there, right? Going to a physical place, physical location, and experience the machines, experience the noodles freshly made on these machines, So yeah, we have a place in Amsterdam, Netherlands, right? For those before are watching from Europe, um, yeah, we have these workshops, special workshops set up on these different dates, 12 like 20th and 27th of this month, like February. Sorry, this February, right? And then we're gonna teach a lot of stuff like basics of noodle making, and then we're gonna demonstrate, and then we're gonna let you actually try making noodles on these machines, right? And then we're gonna cook them. We're gonna let you guys try noodles, and then you guys can like even like take some home, and then try them yourself, and then it's just gonna be like just 50 euros per attendee, and then it's almost like it's almost like free. No, it's not free, but like it's almost like no brainer for you guys to attend these special workshop. And then if you can make it to to our showroom like on these dates, right? Of course, like you can contact us to get an appointment to for private demo, which may be better to well because you have you can get to work with noodles, if you're serious about it, right? Longer time, but like we have a page set up for it, so like please consider coming and then sign up for your seat. And then another thing is that like so we are talking from Kagawa, where it's like a part of Japan, like western Japan, um, Yamato HQ. Then we are going to do this like 2 day special workshop in Kagawa, like Yamato HQ, 21st and 22nd. And then the best of all, like it's free, right? So you just have to show up, right? And then sign up and show up. Um, then it's a very nice, like really special, very valuable content that we're gonna have for you to like. Mr. Fuji, like Noodle Guru, is gonna have kind of special, you know, uh, consultation, like sort of time spots, like set up for you if you are interested in like talking with him, consulting with him like about certain like a business, your business challenges and stuff. Then well, first day we're gonna do the like dive deep into like ramen, like ramen, all about ramen, like 21st. And then because the Kagawa being the home to like the world's most famous popular udon noodles, the Sanuki udon. We're gonna do the dive deep into udon on 22nd, and then we're gonna have like way more stuff for you to experience, right? So yeah, please sign up for your seats, right? No, because we have like limited number of seats, and then when they're gone, they're gone. So before we run out of the seats, like please sign up for your seat, right? On that web page, we have a web page set up for you. So lastly, right, for those of you who may be watching from US, United States, or like Canada, right? We have a special workshop. Like we have a showroom in Houston, Texas. Then we have a special workshop again, like later this month, right, 27th and 28th. The same thing that we're doing like in Amsterdam, but It's just $60, right? $60 per attendee. It's still we're gonna be doing like a lot of stuff there as well. You know, so please sign up for your seat before we run on this run out of them, right? Then yeah, again, like we have a pay set up for you. So yeah, please do that like before um yeah, time's up. So okay, so we can start, right? Making soybean noodles. Then yeah, and then we can show you guys our Richmen Gold I machine. Yeah, so Richmen Gold I is it's an all-in-one model that like the most advanced all-in model, all-in-one model we have. And so this is the soybean powder, right? Kind of yellowish, kind of color, and then the white powder is like flour, like wheat flour, right? And then so this is a 10 kilogram silky mixer, right? And then so medium batch is 4 kilograms, right? So that's solid ingredients. So we're gonna put the 4 kilogram batch solid ingredients first, right? And then we're gonna start the mixer, right? And then what we do is that like mix them for a minute, make sure that like they're mixed up like pretty well. And then yeah, we're gonna um, make the solution by dissolving the salt and calcium into the water, right? Yeah, and then so this is silky mixer that we developed to optimize the dough condition for noodles, right? Um, it's got all the so we designed it to kind of hydrate the dough well. It has this like lid with the holes, right? Like a lot of small holes to allow the liquid to be dripped through, little by little, to render very good hydration of the dough, right? And then it has this like a rotation speed of 75 rotation per minute. That's the ideal the rotation speed for noodle dough. So we're gonna add uh, the liquid, right? Just we're gonna add like just 2/3 of it right first, and then after 4 minutes, we're gonna open the lid and then like kind of mix them up, right? Because there's some part of the dough that's wetter than the other part, so you want to mix them up to kind of get them like evenly, right? So yeah, let that mixer yeah keep going, right? And then yeah, total mixing time 10 minutes, right? And then but we all like hate to waste your time, so we prepared the dough in advance, or maybe we prepared it in. But as you can see that see the color, right? Color. Um, and then she's you know adjusting the roller gap, right, to 1.5 millimeter, and then I see the size of the dough, kind of the size of the crumble of the dough, right, is uh, a little bit big. So I think like it looks like 33% hydration ratio, kind of 35%, somewhere around there, like kind of big. Um, yeah, so we set the roll gap to like 1.5 millimeter initially, and then as we're gonna start, and then as I mentioned, what you have to do is just like you're gonna place the dough on the conveyor right belt, and then the dough comes out, and then just wind it on the rolling pin, and then you don't have to do anything. Just we can go one does the rest of the process for you. Just leave it, and then well, it's almost boring, right? But like you can pretty much do like whatever you know you want to do, like while the Richmen Gold I is working, right? And then see the dough, the red light, right? Um, it's like kind of looking at okay, how much dough is going in, and then is that appropriate amount of dough being fed at the time? And then depending on that, like if it's not like if it's like too small amount, then the it moves the conveyor belt faster, speed of the conveyor belt. But like if it's too much, then like it slows down the conveyor belt. You know, so it's kind of regulating the amount of like dough like being fed to the roller, right? So it's very very smart. And then yeah, so there are a lot of like sensors like they're installed in this machine to well basically kind of remove the kind of manual operation. There are a lot of manual operation that you would have to do like without these sensors in this system, and then like there's almost like an algorithm. So, but Richmen Gold I like well does the all of them for you. So very smart machine. And then so the first roll is just you know, well, we have the crumbles dough, right? And then like we turn it into the sheet of dough, right? So it's kind of forcing the dough, crumbles dough into like one sheet of dough, but like it's still it's still fragile, or pretty weak. You can just rip it apart like with ease, right? But we want to from this point on, like we want to strengthen it, right? We want to strengthen it or make it stronger, firm. So how we want to do this? Like we want to do like separate it into two sheets, right? And then like combine them through roller. Combine them and like feed them on roller. We call this process combining process. And then you've got to do this process to make the this very distinctive noodle texture of soybean noodles. And then so after that, we're setting the roller gap into 2 millimeter. So previous roller gap was like 1.5 millimeter, right? So each those sheet is 1.5 millimeter in thickness, right? And then so what basically thinning, those sheets that's like 3 millimeter in thickness, right? But we set that roller gap to 2 millimeter, and then so it's kind of it's bigger than the previous roller gap, but because it's a 3 millimeter thickness, right? So we want to thin it, but we don't want to thin like drastically, so we set it to 2 millimeter, and then yeah, we are going slow, right, on purpose, because we are sticking them together, right? Sticking like these, combining like these two separate sheets of dough, right, into one. So we want to apply, very heavy, very big pressure in the dough. So want to go slow. The combining process is vital to developing the gluten structure, very good noodle texture, and then well, but someone asked me like, okay, how many times like do I have to do it like to get the ideal texture? And then we didn't know the answer, so like we did experimentation, and then we found out that like it's twice, two times get you the ideal noodle texture. We did it like three times, like four times, and five times, but like well, the noodle texture didn't improve from the second time. So you know you can do it like for three times, like four times, but like it's just a waste of time. So yeah, yeah, you wanna stop at like second, yeah, combining process, and then from this one, like we started dusting, right? Because after the second combine process, like we don't want the those to stick together, so we just wanna start dusting, and then but just outer side of the dough only, right? Because we are still like combining, right? You know, the inner side of the dough, so we want to dust just the outer side of the dough. Yeah, but like in this process, like we still going slow, right? To make sure that we apply, um, good pressure, the dough, right, to stick it together. Then on touch panel, that it shows the speed, right? And then thickness, like water gap. It's everything is on this. Everything you have to know is shown on the touch panel. So after second combined process, right? We just want to thin it, right? We just want to thin it to the final thickness. Then yeah, so it was 3 millimeter previously, right? And then so we apply this rule of like 40% reduction rule, right? So every round of thinning, wanna reduce the thickness by 30%, right? So previously it was like 3 millimeter, so now we set it to like 2 millimeter because 30% less, right? Thinner, uh, you know, 3 times like point 0.3, right? 30%, 0.9. So subtract that from 3, and then it's 2.1. But just make it simple to set it to 2 millimeter. So yeah, so making any kind of like noodles, like blending or mixing or blending wheat flour, and then some other like ingredients that are in powder form, um, basically a powder form. Because we want to watch out for a water content of the powder, because wheat flour has like this okay, let's measure first 2.3, yeah, 2.3. So after it goes right 2.0, it bounces back by 0.3 millimeter to 2.3 millimeter. So I think, yeah, we're on the path, right? So in the workshop we did in this morning, we actually did a little bit different recipe that I think I showed in the on the slide. This is the kind of cutter we use, right? It's a round cutter, number 16, and the number 16 is like a 2.0 millimeter. So we're gonna be making like kind of round shaped noodle, right? Round shaped noodles, and then the round cutter is normally, yeah, it can be used for like kind of spaghetti kind of pasta, uh, and then yeah, certain types of ramen noodles. But yeah, it's a round like shape, like kind of rare shape. Not a lot of, for example, like ramen shops use it, but noodle thing should be like kind of unique in a way. So you're cutting it. So we mounted the duster like right above the dough that's going into the cutter, right? So yeah, it's getting like good amount of dust. I mean the dust and powder before gets this cut, the noodles. So yeah, cutting pretty smooth, and then yeah, you can see that like maybe sitting like comfortably on chair, right, and then catching noodles. So it's very um, comfortable compared to like conventional noodle machines. You can just take these noodles like in comfortable chair, and then it's very easy to change the serving size, change the length, and then you can also make them like curly, with these like using some tool, right? And then yeah, you can make the cutting faster, slower, and then yeah. But a lot of our customers actually use this machine where the customers can see, you know, so they're just showing how they make their noodles, right? So it's kind of like entertaining piece of equipment that they can put in the center of the restaurant or like factory to show customers like how their noodles are made from scratch, right? So and then in today's workshop, we want to show you guys the yeah how we're gonna cook them, right? And then how um, we're gonna serve them, like just one version, right? One sample version, yeah. And then yeah, so Mr. Sang is our noodle making first, like our noodle school instructor, and then so he's the one like who developed this recipe, like soybean noodles. So and then he's here to like kind of show us the some like kind of simple dish, noodle dish, but it's very good noodle dish that you can probably start making or serving at your restaurant next week, right? So thank you, Mr. Song. Yeah, so for showing us that this great noodle dish today, and
今日は、看板の麺を作り、はい、をします。中国の有効麺。
yeah, so today I'm gonna show you guys that like really simple, easy, Chinese noodle dish. People,
有
yeah,
効麺。で、中国は、ビャンビャン麺とか、刀削麺は、基本こういう有効麺と似てるのが作り方。
yeah. So other famous like bian bian mian, the like shaped noodles, right? So they're kind of like similar, like how they're served, right? But yeah.
これ一番麺は何でもいいですが、この作り方分かると簡単に混ぜ麺を作れます。シュープ式。
Yeah, so you can use any kind of noodles, right? But if you understand this type of the method with serving, right? It's very easy for you to start serving like type of mazene or like soupless noodle.
作り方としては麺茹でて、その茹でた麺の上に唐辛子とか刻みのネギ、あといろいろ生姜とかこういう調味料をかけて、で熱いの油を上にかけて、それで混ぜて食べるんです。
Yeah, so the method of serving this type of noodles is like very simple. So you first cook the noodles, right, and then they put the noodles in the bowl, and then while we're cooking, he's actually heating up the oil, right, and then you're gonna top the noodles with scallions, like only coriander, herb, and then the ginger, and garlic and stuff, and then some seasoning, right, and chili pepper and stuff like that. And then what he's gonna do is that like he's gonna pour that hot oil to sort of flavor, kind of flame up the flavor of these ingredients, right? So it's very easy, but you can apply, you can do this with that like a different types of noodles.
日本のラーメンと違うのは、その 長時間のすぐ炊くの作業がないから、すごくコスト上も手間もかからないし、すぐ作れるから、簡単に作れます。
Yeah, so what's different about like this dish is like compared to like some like Japanese ramen is that like Japanese ramen like most of them have to do with deal with like the soup, right? The soup like which take a long time to cook, and they it costs a lot of money to basically prepare, right? But you don't have to cook the stocks or anything, this dish, right? So you just need like have the noodles and then a bunch of ingredients to just you know finish it. So it's less costly and then very easy to do, and you can actually start serving them from next week, at your restaurant. So. Yeah, it's a little bit kind of little thick noodles, so kind of trying it out to see if it's cooked or not.
今、1分20秒設定したけど、ちょっと麺が硬いから、もうちょっと時間を増やします。
Yeah, so he set the timer to like 2 minutes and 20 seconds, but like it was kind of a little hard still because it's still cooked. So I'm gonna cook that more.
ゆで麺、今日はちょっと冷水で入れます。
So he's going to wash them and then chill them, right? This noodle.
表面の塩分質さえきれいに洗ってやると麺が締まるからコシも出るし、主観的はもちりした。
Yeah, so you wanna remove like all the starch, right, of the noodle sautés, right? And then you're gonna chill them so that like a noodle texture will be like kind of tighter, um, firm, right, more firm. And then on top of the noodles, right, I'm gonna play all these different ingredients like garlic, minced garlic, ground ginger, and chopped up scallions, and then like a chili pepper, but like finer chili pepper. That's kind of coarse chili pepper. Then Sichuan pepper, and numbing effect, right? And then that's sugar, a little bit, and then soy sauce. That's vinegar. A little bit of salt, sprinkle salt. And then I wanna pour some hot oil over it.
油かけるはもう一回はたくさんじゃなくて少量で何回何回。
Yeah, so we want to pour like just a little bit, like small amount of oil, like and we will separate the pour to a few times, right?
これ肉で作ったの。
This is like a pork meat, like kind of sweet, sauce topping.
これはトマトと卵。
Tomato, like egg topping, like it's kind of cooked together and then
各社の好みで入れなくてもいいし。
coriander herb.
は それで混ぜて食べます。
So and then we're gonna mix them up and then we'll eat it like you taste it. So it's very easy. It's just like mazame, soupless noodle dish that yeah, in Japan like we call it mazame, but like in China like yeah, have a different name, but otherwise like it varies big. And then yeah, so in the morning, right, we did a workshop and we tried, right, it was very good, but like we realized it should be like um, the noodles should be like thicker, so that like it's gonna um, you know well capture more sauce, right, and then it's gonna have like probably more satisfying taste overall. So we changed our noodle recipe, and then it was a little bit like kind of coarse. Like we probably put too much of the soybean powder, um, so the noodle like wasn't as chewy, right? So we changed the recipe, and then like now it's like really good. So just 30% soybean powder, and then 70% just flour, wheat flour. So yeah, so it's very then it's just like we feel very sorry, right? To not to be like you guys try this awesome noodle dish, right? So that's why I'm saying like that's why I'm saying like just why don't you guys like think about coming to Kagawa, right? Yamato HQ for the event. Well, you can just come like call us to get appointment to take appointment, and then you can come for the private demo, and then it's we can maybe just try these noodles, different types of noodles, freshly made, and then of course Amsterdam office, we have in Europe, right? To think about signing up for the workshop, or just get appointment for the private demo, and then don't forget our Houston showroom, right? That's a newly opened showroom that we just opened it like last August. So do think about coming, right? We have pages set up, these 3 pages set up on the website. So please sign up for the event, right? And then yeah, you're gonna learn and then experience really good stuff if you come to this event. So you think about it. Yeah, so like we're gonna be doing like this, more of this kind of like content, and then for you guys to learn and then apply right in your businesses. So please, if you haven't already, then please subscribe to this channel, and then so that you won't miss any content, right? Then if you like this kind of content, like class workshop, please hit the like button. Then so next Wednesday and Friday, we're gonna be doing something else, but like please make sure that check out our website for the pages for you to sign up, right? So that's what we have for this class. So thanks so much for watching, and then we hope you guys see you back in the next workshop. So thank you so much. Bye bye.